Law enforcement is a unique endeavor. Some would say it is a profession, while most involved would say it is a calling. I would argue that there are few undertakings so noble as the protection of your community. It is defined by service and attracts those who truly believe that they can make a difference. There are those who question why anyone would go into the field of law enforcement. For those of us involved, we couldn't imagine doing anything else. There are many who enter into this profession and serve with distinction. There are a select few who soar above the rest. This is the realm in which Officer David Curtis and Officer Jeffrey Kocab operated each and every day. Ours is an inherently dangerous business. We face the unknown out on the street every moment. It is our job to question the suspicious, to run towards danger, to guard the weak, and remove the treacherous. Dave and Jeff were fully aware of those dangers and took every precaution to ensure their safety. As zone partners for the last 5 months, they helped each other out of dangerous situations on more than one occasion. And they always had each other's back. In fact, that's exactly what they were doing, taking care of each other when what seemed to be a routine traffic stop turned deadly. This is one of the reasons that this tragedy is so difficult to comprehend. They both did things by the book. We understand that bad things happen to good people, but it should not happen to officers who do all the right things while protecting our community. For these reasons and so many more, it is just impossible to make sense of the loss of such fine officers. The turnout today is not only a tribute to the service in our community, but an acknowledgement of the amazing individuals that they are. It is a testament to the impact that they had on their families, their friends, and our community. Dave and Jeff defined all that is good within our community. Both strived to keep our city safe, but they also gave back in a variety of ways. David Curtis was a mountain of a man. He was an exceptional police officer who loved us, where he served with distinction as a detention deputy. Dave was the kind of guy that never met a stranger and could talk to anybody. Yet he had a calmness about him that resulted in the de-escalation of many a confrontational situation. He was respected and revered for his abilities on the street. He was also a personal trainer and earned the nickname of Spooner from his squad because he was constantly eating healthy foods. He had a passion for working out, and this is where I got to know him, working out in our gym. I missed seeing him on Monday evening because I had a prior commitment, but I was told by the other gym regulars that they were all dancing to Michael Jackson's Thriller, no doubt egged on by Dave. Probably best that I didn't see that display of athleticism. If you had to say what Dave was most proud of, it would be his boys. He told stories about his boys and talked about how they swam in the lake, rode four-wheelers, went hunting, and did a myriad of other boy stuff. There was no doubt that Dave loved his boys with all his heart. You could tell by the way his face lit up as he spoke about them. To truly provide a picture of the kind of man Dave Curtis was, his final act on this earth was to donate his organs so that others may be given a chance at life. I cannot think of an act that could be more selfless. Being a police officer defined Jeff Kocab. He came to our department as a seasoned veteran, having served with the Plant City Police Department for 3 years. During his tenure with Plant City, he was named Officer of the Month 4 times and Officer of the Year in 2007. Now, to put this into perspective, I've been in law enforcement for 26 years, and I've never even been Officer of the Month. So I'm thinking that maybe Jeff should have been the Chief of Police. By everyone's account, Jeff was an amazing individual. Although only with us for 14 months, he distinguished himself as a stellar officer through his performance. He was accelerated through our training program, hitting the streets with a passion to reduce crime and make our community safe. His squad mates gave him the nickname of Taz, short for the Tasmanian Devil, because he was so full of energy and was always on the go with a mission to crush crime. One of his field training officers called him a fire breather, based on his unmatched work ethic and drive. Interestingly enough, Jeff was an actor before becoming a police officer. Early on, he put those skills to use, teaching young kids positive life skills, making a difference in his community before becoming a police officer. Based on his acting skills, he hoped one day to be able to work in an undercover capacity, investigating narcotics organizations. There is no doubt he would have shined in that capacity as well. Jeff was also an accomplished martial artist, earning a purple belt and well on his way to the black belt. There wasn't anything that Jeff couldn't or wouldn't do. Sarah met Jeff when she was a waitress, and he was the head waiter. Self-admittedly, Sarah had a crush on him. Jeff, on the other hand, did not seem to immediately realize that they were destined to be together, causing Sarah to have to take matters into her own hands. Even a trained investigator like Jeff needs a little help sometimes. By everyone's account, Sarah and Jeff were made for each other and were seemingly inseparable through the years that they have been together. They were both looking so forward to the birth of their child. There is an overwhelming sadness in the knowledge that Jeff will not hold his little girl or feel that indescribable depth of love that being a parent brings. When asked if there is anything that Kelly or Sarah wanted to convey to the community about their husbands or their lives, the response was, "Please tell everyone thank you." Having been through the most horrific event imaginable, their thoughts are grounded in gratitude and the well-being of others. Your display of strength and grace over the last 5 days has allowed the rest of us to stand strong. Kelly and Sarah were to meet for the first time at a squad party this evening. Instead, their lives were inextricably connected early Tuesday morning. If will and wishes could become reality, you two would be meeting for the first time tonight, with all of the awkwardness, laughter, and camaraderie that we call the squad party. The wounds caused by the death of Dave and Jeff will never completely heal, and the void cannot be filled. To the families, there are no words capable of providing sufficient comfort. All we can do is pledge our undying support and promise to be by your side from this moment forward. For those of us who knew Dave and Jeff, our pain is still raw and at times seemingly unbearable. We say to ourselves, if we could just have one more moment to say goodbye, to let them know how much they've impacted our lives. But alas, that is not possible. All we can do is honor them by carrying on their legacy and by leading our lives as an example for others to follow. Today, we say goodbye to Officer David Curtis and Officer Jeffrey Kocab, but it is not the last day that we will remember their service and sacrifice. Their names are now etched upon the police memorial along with the other Tampa police officers who died in the line of duty serving their communities. For many generations to come after we are all gone, they will be remembered for the sacrifice that they made. They are gone from us today, but their lives and their service will never be forgotten. God bless you, Dave and Jeff. May you rest in peace.